Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. This next project is a bike that's supposedly been sitting for a long time. I can almost verify that by sticking the old snoot in the fuel tank. It smells like 100-year-old varnish. This engine will not pop off with starting fluid and actually feels like it's a bit low on compression. Let's tear into this thing, do a cylinder leak down test, and see if we can determine why she does not want to run. YZ250F coming up. This does not have the correct exhaust on it. Owner says that he think it came off of a 450. That ought to give this a lot more power. We need to get this engine up on top dead center, so we need to remove these plugs. We can turn our crankshaft over, line our timing mark up for top dead center. Stick a screwdriver down inside the cylinder spark plug hole. On the YZs it's a little difficult because the spark plug hole is directly below the frame, so you got to find something that will sort of fit. And then we're going to just slowly rotate our engine forward. It's going to be counterclockwise or anti-clockwise until you see that screwdriver rise up. When it gets to its top of its travel, which I think I went a little too far, now we can start looking for our timing mark. You can see the timing marks on the case and the timing mark on the flywheel are lined up. At the same time, you want to verify that your timing mark on the intake cam is lined up with the cylinder head as shown here, and the timing mark on the exhaust cam is lined up with the cylinder head as seen here, which tells you your timing, your camshaft timing is where it needs to be. At this point now we can go ahead and do the cylinder leak down test. So in a prior video that I did for a CRF 250R, I went into depth on the cylinder leakage tester and why we do it, what we're looking for. So I'm not going to get too much into depth. I'm just going to touch base on it a little bit what we do is we pressurize the cylinder, get as close to 100 psi as we can, and this gauge on this side is going to show you the percentage of leakage. So air goes in, air is going to escape back out. This is going to show you the difference between the two, from your input air pressure to your output air pressure. Now, air is going to escape past the rings, very normal, very common. So how much air is escaping is going to be the real test on this. Ideally, we'd like to be pretty low on our percentage as far as escaped air. Under 15%, I think you'd probably be in pretty good shape. You start getting up around 45%, the engine's going to need a rebuild. Again, you're going to hear air escaping through the crankcase, past the rings. What we don't want to hear in any way, shape, or form is air escaping through the intake valves, the exhaust valves, or through the cooling system. That's going to require some repairs. So let's go ahead and pressurize this system and keep our fingers crossed. Now, when you start to pressurize this engine, it's going to want to turn the engine over, push the piston down. We have to stop it from doing that because we need to do this test when the engine is on top dead center. The only real way to do this properly and safely would be to put your bike in high gear, whatever gear that might be, and you're going to hold your rear brake very tightly. I'm going to go up to about 90. I got 90 psi going in. I got about 88 coming out. So this thing's actually pretty healthy. Well, the engine passed the cylinder leak down test, so we know we got spark, we know we got compression, and we know that our cam timing is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and squirt a little non-ethanol fuel mixed with 2-cycle oil in the intake. Let's just see if we can hear this thing bark at us. He's trying. I'm going to go ahead and measure the valve clearances while I'm in here, and we'll go ahead and rebuild this carburetor, get this thing back together, and let's just see if she'll start. Well, I pulled her apart, adjusted the valves. The exhaust valves were out of spec quite a bit. Probably the reason why this thing didn't want to start. It would probably start with a push start, but not with a kick start. I cleaned the carburetor, did a little bit of tuning on her, did some maintenance, some oil change, air filter, the works. Threw a set of new control bars up here, some new levers, grips, make it look nice. Let's start her up so you can hear what she sounds like. Well, there she is, YZ250F. Not too big of a deal on this one, went pretty easy. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. It'll notify you when I put a new video out, and I got a lot of interesting stuff coming up. If you got any questions or comments, throw them down in the section down below. As always, I appreciate you watching. We'll see you on the next one.